this is Line 'em Up, and today I'm going to tell you what I like about the Canon 5D Mark IV and what I don't like. So pretty much this has been my everyday run and gun camera, and I'm not going to lie, it's my favorite camera. This is definitely one of my favorite cameras that I've ever used. It's really reliable. What I really like about this is it's a 30 megapixel camera, and it takes really crisp portraits, and like when you blow them up, obviously it's always going to retain its quality. It also offers 4K capabilities. This camera takes really good quality video. Some of the highest quality video that I've ever taken has been on this camera. It's got a weather sealed design. You don't have to worry about a couple of water drops breaking your camera, so that's really good. The battery life in this camera is surprisingly pretty good. I think you get a 900 shot battery life, so you get to take 900 pictures on the battery. And we do live streams, so I've recorded up to 30 plus minutes. Sometimes this camera stays on longer than an hour when we do a live stream, and that's off of one battery. So for this camera to stay on and run video for an hour long straight, it's amazing. One thing I really like about this camera is it has GPS capabilities. So when you take a picture and you upload it to your computer, and if you got an iPhone and you airdrop it, it has the location that this camera took the picture at. It's really crazy how Apple and this can work together and tell you where you were. It's really cool when you go to Instagram and you post the picture and the picture has a location for you. You don't have to go back and figure out exactly where you were. And the autofocus on this camera is amazing. All Canons, I believe, have some of the best autofocus capabilities. And this camera's autofocus is really key. It has like 5 different settings for autofocus, so you can adjust it to your liking. Now, what I don't like about this camera is sometimes it is a little big and it is a little bit bulky. It's I forgot how much it weighs, but I think it's about like 2 pounds. Wow, I had no idea. This camera weighs about 2 pounds, so sometimes it's a little heavy when you add on like a prime lens. It's well over 3 pounds. One thing I really don't like is the 4K crop factor. This is not a true 4K DSLR. It has a 1.25 crop factor rating, meaning that if you use a 50mm lens, it's going to be cropped 1.25 times. I really don't like that. If you want to shoot at 120 frames per second, that it is going to be in 720p quality. It's not going to be 1080p. This camera is not the best low light camera either. Sony definitely has this camera beat. Hey, Mr. Petrilio.
Hey.
There's no flip out screen for this. It is a touchscreen, so that does help, but when you have a Ronin and you're trying to look at the screen and the sun's out, it's really difficult. That is one flaw in this. But it's a great daily use camera. It's a little big to carry around, but you get used to it. Don't be afraid of this camera by the size. It is my overall favorite camera. If Canon could change anything, I would just say that adding 4K without a crop factor would be amazing, and when you shoot in 120 frames per second, if it could be in 1080p, that would be the only 2 things I would change about this camera. Other than that, it's amazing. I love it so much. So if you're thinking about buying this camera, do it. It's worth it. If you're only going to be shooting in low light situations and you need that high frame rate, then I would say go with the Sony camera. Sony would be my second bet. But overall, I really like this. So
we're about a ½ inch behind, correction, a ½ inch ahead for the year, and 1 53/100 behind for the year so far. We'll be looking for a little bit of a change tomorrow, and of course the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing showing up on the radar. However, the satellite photo was pretty interesting for the western half of the U.S. Rain showers and thunder showers along that frontal system, then that wide band of fairly heavy snows. Now, what will happen each time that you see the frontal system on there? That begins at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll see the